Watson was found guilty beyond reasonable doubt of murdering Ben Smart and Olivia Hope in the Marlborough Sounds on New Year's Day in 1998.
It is a mystery that captivated a nation. The disappearance of Blenheim couple Ben Smart and Olivia Hope in the dark and early hours of New Year's Day 1998.
Welcome. This is Crime Recall.
On New Year's Eve in 1998, Ben Smart and Olivia Hope, both 21 years old, attended a party on New Zealand's South Island. The party, which was held on a boat moored near the town of Furno Lodge, was attended by a group of young people, including friends and acquaintances of Ben and Olivia. According to eyewitness accounts, Ben and Olivia left the party at around midnight. They were seen getting into a small dinghy and headed toward the shore. The dinghy was later found beached on the shore, but there was no sign of Ben and Olivia. The next morning, when the partygoers woke up, Ben and Olivia were nowhere to be found. A search was immediately launched, involving the police, the Coast Guard, and hundreds of volunteers. Despite extensive efforts, their bodies were never recovered. Over the years, there have been many theories about what happened to Ben and Olivia. Some believe that they drowned while trying to swim to shore. Others think that they may have been the victims of foul play. There were even rumors of a serial killer operating in the area at the time. The investigation into the disappearance was led by Detective Inspector Rob Pope, who headed up a team of more than 20 detectives. They conducted dozens of interviews and searches, but were unable to find any concrete evidence. One of the main obstacles in the investigation was the lack of witnesses. Many of the partygoers at the island party had been drinking heavily, and their memories of the events of that night were hazy at best. This made it difficult for the police to piece together a timeline of events. Another challenge was the fact that the area where the party took place is isolated and rugged. With treacherous currents and hidden rocks, this made it difficult to search for Ben and Olivia's bodies. It also made it possible that they could have drowned without anyone noticing. Despite these challenges, the police remained determined to solve the case. They pursued every lead and followed every piece of information, no matter how small, but as the years passed and no progress was made, it seemed that the island party murders might never be solved. As the investigation into the island party murders dragged on, a number of theories on suspects emerged. Some people believed that Ben and Olivia had been the victims of a serial killer, possibly the same person who was responsible for the disappearance of another young woman, Teresa Cormack, a few years earlier. Others thought that Ben and Olivia might have been the victims of a gang or a drug deal gone wrong. There were even rumors of a cult or satanic group operating in the area. Despite these theories, the police were unable to find any concrete evidence to support them. They continued to follow leads and interview witnesses, but they were unable to make any arrests. One person who came under suspicion was Scott Watson, a local man who owned a yacht similar to the one described by witnesses at the island party. Watson claimed that he had left the party early and had not seen Ben and Olivia, but the police were suspicious of his alibi. They searched his boat and found some evidence that seemed to link him to the crime, including a hair and a fiber that matched those of Ben and Olivia. However, the case against Watson was far from solid. The hair and fiber could not be definitively linked to him, and there was no other concrete evidence to support the theory that he was involved in the murders. Despite this, Watson was arrested and charged with the murders of Ben and Olivia. He went on trial in 1999 and was found guilty by a jury. He was sentenced to life in prison, where he remains to this day. Watson has always maintained his innocence, and his case has attracted a great deal of attention and controversy. Many people believe that he was the victim of a miscarriage of justice, and that the real killer, or killers, have never been brought to justice. One of the main arguments against Watson's guilt is the lack of concrete evidence linking him to the crime. The hair and the fiber found on his boat that supposedly matched those Ben and Olivia were not definitive matches, and there was no other physical evidence linking him to the murders. Additionally, several witnesses testified that they had seen Ben and Olivia getting into a dinghy with someone other than Watson. These witnesses described the man as being tall and blonde, which did not match Watson's appearance. There were also inconsistencies in the testimony of some of the prosecution's key witnesses. One witness who claimed to have seen Watson's boat near the scene of the crime later admitted that he had lied in his initial statement to the police. Another witness who claimed to have seen Watson at a gas station on the night of the murders was later shown to have been mistaken about the date. Despite these inconsistencies, The jury found Watson guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison. He has always maintained his innocence, and his case has been taken up by several groups campaigning for his release. The case remains one of New Zealand's most controversial and divisive criminal cases, and it is likely to continue to be so for many years to come. In the years since Scott Watson was convicted on the Island Party murders, there have been ongoing efforts to solve the case and determine the truth about what happened to Ben Smart and Olivia Hope. One group that has been particularly active in this effort is the Ben Smart and Olivia Hope Trust, which was established by the families of the victims to keep the case in the public eye and to raise funds for further investigations. The trust has commissioned several independent reviews of the case, including one by a panel of leading forensic experts. These reviews have raised serious questions about the evidence used to convict Watson and have suggested that he may be the victim of a wrongful conviction. Despite these efforts, the case remains unsolved and Watson's conviction has not been overturned. He continues to serve his life sentence, and the families of Ben and Olivia continue to hope for answers and justice. The Island Party murders remain one of New Zealand's most perplexing and heartbreaking unsolved cases. It is a case that has captured the imagination of the public and has generated a great deal of debate and speculation. Who killed Ben Smart and Olivia Hope? Did Scott Watson commit the murders, or was he the victim of a wrongful conviction? These are questions that may never be fully answered, but the search for the truth continues. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this content, then please give this video a like and hit the subscribe button.